Have you ever felt that your own decency is used against you? That your integrity is treated not as a virtue, but as a vulnerability? You act with transparency, and in return, you receive manipulation. You offer empathy, and it is met with exploitation. This is a profoundly disorienting experience, and it is not an accident. The great psychologist Carl Jung gave us a map for this territory. He taught that we all wear a persona, a social mask we present to the world. It is the good, agreeable, and capable version of ourselves. But behind this mask, in the unseen depths of our psyche, lies the shadow. The shadow is not evil. It is the repository of everything we have disowned about ourselves: our aggression, our ambition, our capacity for selfishness, our power. People who feel chronically manipulated are often those who live exclusively in their persona, refusing to acknowledge their own shadow. They project their own wholeness onto others, assuming everyone is operating from a place of integrity. A manipulator, however, has a very different relationship with the shadow. They recognize it, they use its dynamics, and they prey on those who refuse to see it in themselves. This video is not about learning to manipulate. It is about the courageous act of integration. It is about acknowledging your own hidden depths so that you can no longer be a target for the darkness in others. Because true power is not found in perfecting your mask, but in becoming whole. What follows are 10 principles, viewed through a Jungian lens, to help you reclaim your psychological sovereignty. Stay with us, for the one who understands their own whole psyche can never be a mere pawn in someone else's game. Chapter 1. The persona as a target. Jung taught that the most predictable person is the one who is pathologically good. When your behavior is exclusively defined by your persona, the flawless employee, the ever-patient friend, the perpetually calm partner, you offer the world a perfect, readable map of your psyche. A manipulator does not hunt for weakness, they hunt for patterns. They see your unwavering consistency not as virtue, but as a set of rules they can exploit. They know you will always give the benefit of the doubt. They know you will feel guilty asserting a boundary. They know you will absorb discomfort to maintain social harmony. Your persona, in its rigidity, becomes their tool. They learn exactly how to press on your identity as a good person to get what they want. They push, knowing your commitment to the mask will prevent you from pushing back. The danger is not your kindness. The danger is your unawareness of the other half of yourself. When you deny your own capacity for anger, you cannot recognize calculated provocation. When you disown your own ambition, you cannot see another's ruthless maneuvering. Chapter 2. Withdrawing the persona. A manipulator scans for power, but they are unnerved by mystery. Obvious strength, an immaculate persona, invites a direct challenge. But what if you were to strategically withdraw that mask? This is not about pretending to be weak or incompetent. It is the art of allowing others to underestimate your awareness. It is the choice to not correct every mistake, to not display every insight, to not win every minor debate. By creating small, human gaps in your persona, you create a psychological vacuum. Into this vacuum, others project their own assumptions and, more importantly, their own shadow. They see your silence and assume ignorance. They see your patience and assume weakness. Believing they have the upper hand, they speak more freely. They reveal their intentions. They expose the game they are playing because they feel you are not even watching. The ego wants to be seen as smart and capable at all times, but the integrated self knows that true power lies in observation. By letting others think they are one step ahead, you gain the ultimate strategic advantage, a clear, unfiltered view of their true character. Chapter 3. The ego's trap of justification. Why does explaining yourself feel so draining, so diminishing? From a Jungian perspective, the compulsive need to justify your actions is the ego screaming for validation. It is the terror of the persona being seen as flawed. Let me prove to you that I am still good, that my intentions were pure. The moment you begin to explain, you hand over your psychological authority. You are no longer acting from a centered self. You are auditioning for the other person's approval. And a manipulator will always be a harsh critic. They are not listening to understand, they are listening to dissect. Every word you offer is a potential tool to be twisted. Your reasoning becomes a structure they can dismantle. Your emotional tone becomes evidence they can reframe. Silence, however, offers no such handholds. Silence forces the other person to confront their own mind, their own projections. In the absence of your justification, they are left alone with their own narrative, and it often begins to crumble under its own weight. An integrated person acts. A desperate ego explains. Choose your actions with intention, and let them speak for themselves. The less you justify your position, the more solid it becomes. Chapter 4. The War of Archetypes. A sophisticated manipulator rarely attacks you directly. Instead, they attack the archetype you inhabit on the psychological stage. They don't say, "You are wrong." They create a narrative where you are cast in the role of the hysteric, the ingrate, or the fool. Once you are cast in that role, every action you take, no matter how reasonable, is interpreted through that distorted lens. If you defend yourself, you are being defensive. If you get upset, you are emotional. They control the narrative by managing the archetypal labels. The countermove is not to argue the script. It is to consciously embody a more powerful archetype. The sovereign, who does not plead, but decides. The sage, who does not react, but observes with detached wisdom. When you remain calm and centered while they are trying to cast you as the emotional wreck, their narrative falls apart. Contrast becomes your greatest weapon. You don't need to defeat their story. You simply need to refuse the role they have assigned you. Chapter 5. The Illusion of a Shared Psyche. The belief in fairness is often a projection of our own internal integration onto a fragmented world. We assume others are operating with the same balanced psyche, a give and take between their persona and their shadow. A manipulator, in that moment of action, is operating almost entirely from their shadow. They are not concerned with balance. They are concerned with advantage. To insist on applying the rules of fairness to someone who has abandoned them is a profound category error. You are trying to have an honorable duel with an assassin. This doesn't mean abandoning your own ethics. It means developing psychological discernment. It is the ability to see what psychological reality you are actually in, not the one you wish you were in. Accuracy is more potent than fairness. Accuracy responds to the behavior presented. It introduces consequence. It rebalances the dynamic, not with appeals to morality, but with clear, decisive action that shows the cost of transgression. The manipulator will often cry, "That's not fair," the moment you switch from playing by your rules to responding to theirs. Recognize this for what it is, a tactic to guilt you back into your predictable persona. Chapter 6. The Wisdom of the Unconscious. Pause. Immediate reactions come from a triggered ego. They are born of instinct, anxiety, and the desperate need to regain control. A manipulator knows this. They rely on creating urgency to bypass your rational mind and provoke an emotional, revealing response. A delayed response is a sacred pause. It is an act of creating psychic space. In this space, the initial emotional wave recedes. Your unconscious mind has time to process the hidden patterns, the subtle dissonances, the unspoken intent behind the words. In that stillness, clarity emerges. This pause does more than just center you. It unsettles your counterpart. The manipulator's script requires your immediate reaction. When they get silence instead, their own mind begins to race. Did they see through it? What are they planning? Your silence becomes an active force, reflecting their own anxiety back at them. You move from being the one reacting to the one being reacted to. Control of the tempo is control of the encounter. Never let another's urgency become your own. Chapter 7. The Attack on Your Individuation. The most insidious manipulative tactic is not to attack what you do, but to attack who you are becoming. This is a direct assault on what Jung called the individuation process, the lifelong journey to becoming a whole, integrated self. It sounds like this: "You've changed. You're not as nice as you used to be." Or, "This ambition isn't really you." This is framed as concern, but it is a psychological attack designed to create self-doubt and halt your growth. It is the manipulator's unconscious seeing you integrate your shadow, becoming stronger, less predictable, and trying to pull you back into the box of your old persona. The only defense is to anchor your sense of self internally. Your individuation journey is yours alone. It will not and should not be comfortable for those who benefited from your fragmentation. When your self-worth is rooted in this internal process of becoming whole, external commentary loses its power to destabilize you. You can hear the concern and recognize it for what it is: a desperate bid to keep you small and predictable. Chapter 8. The Power of Archetypal Flexibility. Predictability is a prison. A manipulator studies your patterns until they know your next move. The key to breaking their model is not random chaos, but psychological flexibility. Jung believed we all hold a spectrum of powerful archetypes within our unconscious: the warrior, the sage, the magician, the lover. A person stuck in their persona can only play one note. An integrated person can access the archetype needed for the situation. This means that sometimes you are nurturing and available, the caregiver, and other times you are distant and focused, the sage. Sometimes you engage with passion, the lover, and other times you set an immovable boundary, the warrior. This is not inconsistency. It is wholeness. It is the refusal to be a one-dimensional character in another person's story. This flexibility makes you psychologically unreadable. When a manipulator cannot predict your response, they cannot design a strategy to exploit it. Chapter 9. The Psychic Vacuum of Disengagement. A manipulator feeds on psychic energy. Your anger, your frustration, your desperate attempts to explain this is their fuel. It confirms their relevance and their impact. The most powerful and unsettling thing you can do is to withdraw that energy entirely. Walking away is not an act of surrender. It is a declaration of sovereignty. It is the psychic equivalent of taking your projection back. You are saying, "You have no more access to my energy. I will not participate in this complex." This creates a psychic vacuum. The manipulator is left alone with the toxicity they generated, with no one to receive it. Their shadow has nothing to latch onto. This is far more terrifying to them than a direct confrontation. A fight still implies engagement, a shared reality. Your indifference communicates that they do not even exist on your plane of concern. Use engagement as a strategic choice, not a default reaction. Sometimes the most powerful move is to simply close the door. Chapter 10. The Final Goal. The Untouchable Self. Machiavelli's goal was position. Jung's goal is wholeness. The ultimate psychological power lies in becoming so integrated that the games of manipulation become irrelevant. This is the fruit of the individuation process. An individuated person is untouchable, not because they are aggressive or walled off, but because they have made peace with their own shadow. They know their capacity for anger, so another's rage does not frighten them. They know their own potential for selfishness, so another's greed does not surprise them. They are not naive. This wholeness creates a psychic center of gravity that is unshakable. Attempts at manipulation become transparent. You see the hook, you recognize the projection, and you feel no emotional charge to react. You don't need to win the argument because you are no longer invested in the other person's validation. This is the final truth. The aim is not to master tricks to defeat others. It is to master yourself so that others can no longer defeat you. Power is not about controlling the person in front of you. It is about the unshakable control you have over your own inner world. The individuated self operates from a plane that manipulators cannot reach. Their provocations become like stones thrown into the ocean. They make a small splash and disappear, leaving the vastness of the water undisturbed. The path of psychological integration is not easy. It requires courage to look into the parts of yourself you have been taught to fear. But this is the work. This is the path to real power. It is not loud. It is a quiet, internal alignment that makes you unreadable to those who prey on the predictable. When you stop needing to be seen as good and start striving to be whole, the world changes. People become more careful around you, not because you are threatening, but because your centeredness is palpable. Manipulation only works where access to your unexamined psyche is cheap. Make that access priceless. If this exploration opened a new door in your mind, help us share this perspective. Like this video to help it reach others on their own psyche way. Share it with one person who you feel is ready for a deeper understanding of themselves. Subscribe to the Psyche Way for more journeys into the landscape of the mind. And in the comments, tell us, which Jungian concept resonated with you the most? Remember, you don't win by playing their shadow games. You win by becoming so fully yourself that you are no longer on their board. Be whole, be aware, and walk your own path.